Anaximander said that humans come from fish, and so we shouldn't eat fish, because if we do, it's like we're eating our parents. Take that, pescatarians. Hello, this is the Epicurean Stoic, and welcome back to my ancient Greek philosophy series. So far, we've seen how Hesiod with his theogony prepared the soil for philosophy to grow, and how Thales was the seed that sprouted and kick-started the process of demythification, the idea of reduction, and the focus on natural causation. Now, let's see how the shoots were grown quickly in the fertile environment built by these two. Let's learn more about the other two natural philosophers. Anaximander was a student of Thales and the first to have written in prose rather than poetry, and he considered the arche of existing things to be the apeiron, the boundless, the infinite. Unlike the Hesiodic chaos which came to be, Anaximander coined the term apeiron to mean something that was without start and without finish, both temporally and spatially. The apeiron is quantitatively inexhaustible and immeasurable, and qualitatively indefinable and shapeless. Instead of an element, Anaximander's arche is something that both predates and encompasses all things, material and spiritual. Thus, since it is unborn and immortal, it is divine. So we see how the first philosophers removed all anthropomorphic qualities from their first principles. No form, no actions, no character, not even being born or created. After Anaximander, philosophy was also equipped with notions and concepts such as the opposites, namely hot and cold and dry and wet among others, which were separated out of the apeiron and ever since are in perpetual struggle, with the creation of one being the destruction of the other, out of necessity, another concept of Anaximander's. Like Thales, he was also a staunch naturalist when it comes to weather phenomena, explaining wind, rain and lightning in terms of air and water properties and movement. By the end of his life, Anaximander made a huge amount of contributions to philosophy and science, but most importantly, he introduced the idea of a self-regulated, self-controlled universe, with a dynamic, local regulation of the balance between opposites, keeping only causal, mechanistic explanations in his theories of the world. Finally, we have Anaximenes, who was in turn a student of Anaximander. He was influenced by his teacher's theories, but he had difficulty accepting the huge gap of the qualitative differences between the arche and the stuff we see in the world. The apeiron is infinite, imperceptible and indefinite, while the cosmos is full of definite, differentiated and tangible objects made up of different substances. The way he dealt with this discontinuity? Air. The protiarche for Anaximenes was air, which retained some of the properties of the apeiron, but it crucially has a real state of existence, a material one. What is, what has been, and what will be in the future all come about from air, thus establishing a physical context for Anaximenes' interpretation of the universe, which is in sharp contrast with Anaximander's indefinite and immaterial apeiron. On top of that, Anaximenes managed to do something more remarkable than either of his predecessors. He suggested that the qualitative differences between all the elements we know of are actually due to quantitative ones. Specifically, he argued that one material property, density, is what is responsible for all we see around us. The important pair of opposites for Anaximenes is condensation and rarefaction, describing the mechanical process of increasing or decreasing the density of a substance, and so rarefied air is hot air, or fire depending on the amount of rarefaction, while when air is condensed it is colder, becoming first wind, then cloud, and when condensed even more, water, then earth and stones. Everything else is made of these. Interestingly, Anaximenes would use pneuma, which means breath or spirit or soul, as synonymous with air, when he said, just as our soul, which is air, dominates us, so too breath and air surround the whole world. This is the first instance of the analogy between the microcosm and the macrocosm. Our soul and the world are one and the same, and by drawing an analogy with what is known about us, we can illuminate what is known about the cosmos. As I have already said in the previous two videos of this series, there are always more things to say about the philosophers I'm covering, but these have been the most important, influential, and relevant ideas of the other two natural philosophers, Anaximander and Anaximenes. If you want to see a full review of the three philosophers from Miletus, including Thales, come back next Friday, because the three of them together deserve a separate video about their joint contributions and how they left the state of thought and inquiry after they were done expanding it. If you want to get notification when it comes, subscribe and press the bell button, and if you like this video, press like and share it with your friends to help the channel grow. Have a great day, remember to not touch the fish so that there's more for me to eat, And as always, seek virtue.